is Mrs. Minton, and we've got a review today for the brushstrokes that we've been studying this week, and the first one up is participles. And I think most of you understand the participle, but we want to just make sure, but some of the sentences that you wrote were not quite what we had in mind. So, basic review for our purposes, a participle is going to be the ing word that functions as an adjective in the sentence. And here's an example sentence. Running through the forest, the lost child cried for his mom. Okay? Running through the forest tells you more about the lost child. So this right here, running through the forest is our participial phrase. Okay? It tells you more about this child. Running is the ing word, and it looks like a verb, but it's really working as an adjective because it's describing a noun. So running through the forest, the lost child cried for his mom. The other thing to remember is that you should be able to take that participle or participial phrase out of the sentence and not change the meaning of the sentence. So if I take it out, if I just cross this out and say, the lost child cried for his mom, that makes total sense. I could possibly move it around in the sentence, but I'm just going to leave it at the front. But again, if you can take it out of the sentence, you know you're not confusing it with the verb of the sentence or some other part of the sentence. So participial phrase, or the participle, is going to be that ing word, and it's going to tell you more about the sentence. It's not functioning as the action of the sentence. Here's another sentence. Whining, panting, scrambling, the puppy tried to climb the stairs to the deck. Okay, whining, panting, and scrambling, I know immediately because they're ing words that I'm going to be looking for those, and in this case they're all participles. I can take them out of the sentence and the sentence still makes sense. The puppy tried to climb the stairs to the deck. Well, that makes perfect sense. Alright, whining, panting, scrambling, they all act like actions, but in this case they're describing the puppy. So those are what's called participles. Some things to remember when dealing with participles and participial phrases, you have to have a complete sentence without the participle or participial phrase. This is important. So for example, jumping on the bed is fun. Okay, we've got the ing word right here. You want to say that jumping on the bed is the participial phrase because, hey, it's got the ing, it's at the beginning of the sentence, right? That's what you told me to look for. But this is not a participle in this case. If I take that out of the sentence, all that's left is fun. So if I take jumping on the bed out, all I have left is fun. So is fun is not a complete sentence. I can't walk up to you and say, hey, Riley, is fun, and then walk away, because what is fun? In this sentence, jumping on the bed is actually what is called a gerund phrase, and it's functioning as a noun, it's functioning as a subject of the sentence. Remember that a participle functions as an adjective, and so it has to describe a noun. So let's take that same phrase and let's fix it to make it a participle. Jumping on the bed, the girl banged her head on the ceiling. Okay, well, I've still got jumping on the bed. It comes at the beginning of the sentence, it's got the ing, but in this case, if I take it out, the girl banged her head on the ceiling, I'm fine. Jumping on the bed tells you more about who the girl is, what she's doing. So now we've turned that gerund functioning as a noun into a participle. Jumping on the bed is the participial phrase modifying the girl. The next phrase that we're going to talk about are absolute phrases. And absolute phrases are the phrases that combine that noun and a participle, and they also modify the sentence. For example, heads bobbing, arms waving, the crowd sang the song with the band. Okay? Heads bobbing. I'm still looking for that ing word because I know it's got to have a participle. It's just going to have that noun in front of it. So here's waving, okay? Heads bobbing, arms waving, the crowd sang the song. And again, you have to have that complete sentence without the absolute phrases. So if I take them out, the crowd sang the song with the band makes total sense. So now I'm just adding things because adjectives modify, they describe. Those two phrases are modifying the crowd, what the crowd is doing, who they are, and so they are what we call absolute phrases. Another way to tell if the phrase is an absolute or just a subject and a verb is to see if you can insert the word, insert was or were between the noun and the ing word. Heads bobbing, arms waving, the crowd sang the song with the band. If I can put was right here, heads was, that won't work. How about we try heads were. Heads were bobbing, arms were waving. Alright? So if I can insert those and then take them back out and they're telling you more about the sentence, those are going to be absolute phrases. So I've got the ing, nothing has changed there. They both modify the crowd. I can take them all out and the sentence still makes sense. Let's look at another example. The crazy old man left his breakfast on the table, sausage congealing, eggs melting. That's disgusting. Okay. The crazy old man left his breakfast on the table. Okay, I'm looking for the ing words because I know with an absolute I have to have a noun and an ing word. So here's congealing. I've got ing, melting, ing, and I look at the word right in front of it, and those are both nouns. Okay, are they describing the breakfast on the table? Yes. So sausage congealing, eggs melting, both describe the breakfast on the table. If they're describing a noun, which breakfast is, then those are absolute phrases. I can take them out of the sentence, just completely. The crazy old man left his breakfast on the table, and that makes sense. So those are two absolute phrases modifying breakfast in that sentence. The last type of phrase we're reviewing today is an appositive phrase. These are the easiest of the three. I think most of you got this when we talked about it earlier in the week. An appositive phrase renames another noun in the sentence. So our English teacher, Mrs. Minton, designed this lesson for us. Mrs. Minton describes English teacher. Is the proper name for our English teacher. It's separated from the rest of the sentence with these lovely commas. And it gives more information. Her dog, Jasper, is more like furniture than Black Lab. Okay, Jasper is the appositive, renaming dog, got the commas. That's usually your hint right there. Mrs. Sellers, our UA intern, is helping us this semester. Our UA intern is Mrs. Sellers, and I have my commas. Alright, so those are all appositives. And they can, anytime you have a noun in the sentence, if you want to rename it to give more information, that's what you would use. The quiz you've been sent via email will cover all three of these types of phrases. If you're still unsure of any of them, please rewatch the video to get a better understanding. Also, I will be online between 6:30 tonight and 8 o'clock if you need help, so go to your email. I will be on the left-hand side. You'll see my name. Just click chat, and if you have a question about any of those three, or you're unsure of any of those three, or you want to ask a question, or you just want to say hi, hit chat, and I will respond first come, first serve.